All right. I started. I'm kind of resting. I'm not showing my face right now. Sorry about that. Brother tired, but I'm going to go ahead and say what I got to say. Let's go ahead and start it off by giving thanks to the great mother, great father, the ancestral spirits of creation. I want to give you thanks. I want to give and pay homage and also honor to you. I want to say thank you for another day of seeing today, which is what I think is Monday, correct? I believe it is Monday. Yes, Monday. And let me see, there's approximately 6:22 Eastern Standard Time. So I want to give thanks to the great mother, great father, the ancestral spirits of creation, all the divines, all of the angels, archangels. And I want to say thank you for another day. So I want to say, can you please protect us from those that are negative, that are actually wolves in sheep's clothing, that claim to be righteous but are not righteous. They claim to be righteous that are not righteous, that are actually unrighteous, and are actually wolves in sheep's clothing. Protect us from those that are like that. And also, want to give thanks to the ancestors again. I want to also give thanks to the great mother and great father. And please protect all of us that are striving for righteousness and protect us from those that are unrighteous and help us along the way through these trying times and these testing times. Ashe. Now, yeah, Bobo, let's go ahead and rock and roll. All right. So, where, or how, and what is going on? There's a lot of stuff going on. I sat down and I talked to someone today that I've known for a while. There's things going on in the spirit realm that's changing. That's changing at a rapid state. I told y'all to watch the weather. Period. Right? I told y'all to watch the weather. Period. And all these storms, all this stuff that's going on, all this rain, all this weird weather going on. Man, a good friend of mine talked about what's going on in the spirit realm, and it is spiritual warfare along with warfare going on, right? So let's go ahead and get things started. So the thing is, there is a galactic war going on, spiritual war going on, physical war going on, and yet here we are. Here we are. We're going through so many changes in this realm. We're going through transformations in this realm. There's spiritual warfare going on a daily basis. You're getting tested all the time. But yet, here we are, right? How you doing, Mother Shelley? You always on here. It's like I can always count on you. I don't care if nobody don't listen to me because it's like this. They rather listen to drama and chaos. But I'm gonna tell you like this. I talked to somebody today, a good friend of mine, an ex of mine, and we talked about what's going on today, what's going on in the spirit realm, all these storms and everything that's happening from what's going on and with the Iran and Israel and what's going on in the spirit realm. There's a war going on every day. You're also being tested every day on your spirituality, your consciousness and soul. When you're being tested every day to see if you can endure the trials and tribulations and the errors in this realm and also the spirit realm. You're always being tested by spirit. I'm a prime example of that. And this time we have to realize what is really happening. Those that are striving for righteousness are going to be attacked because they got something great here to do. Those that I've been saying that are the real chosen ones, the divine beings, they are being tested every day on a daily basis. And what are they being tested by? Their faith of being spiritually and aware of the divine, their loyalty being tested, their heart is being tested, their emotions are being tested, even down to the visual is being tested. You're being tested every day, every time, every minute, every second, every hour. I know that sounds too crazy. But you are. I'm telling you, I'm a living testimony of it. And it takes a lot of mental strength to go through things like this, to endure in. The type of stuff that the ones that really are the light workers, the real healers, we go through a whole lot of ish to get where we are going. We go through a lot of stuff dealing with our health. We go through a lot of stuff dealing with our mental. We also are there for others when they need us. And most of the time, we are so burnt out, but we still try to help. Why? Because we are sent here as vessels, as beings to help out humanity. Regardless of what's going on in our lives. But yet, you got the people out here saying that they're chosen, but you're not taking care of the divine beings that were sent here by the divine. And then you see what's going on in the news media, right? Then you also see that there's stuff going on with the weather, right? There's a lot of stuff going on with the weather patterns that's kind of off, don't you think? I think so. I'm over here in Maryland. We've been having crazy weather over here. One of the days it was cold as heck. People had to wear jackets in the summertime. It literally went down, I think, 60 degrees in Maryland one point in time, sometime this last week. And it was raining too. Then a storm came yesterday. It was thunder but no lightning outside of my house. Thunder, no lightning. Scared me and my kids. Like, well, we kind of jumped because one of them sounded like a daggone door, like somebody knocked at the door. But it wasn't. It was thunder. The weather patterns are something I keep telling everybody. Watch the weather, right? I've been saying that some like Mother Shirley. I've been saying that for some years now, and everything I've been saying coming to pass. Mother Shirley always send me stuff that come to pass. Like, hey, you was right about that. I got some information on that. Let me tell you something. We are in a time where you're being judged by the hearts. I'm telling y'all right now, we're being judged by the heart. I didn't mention that numerous times about the heart chakra. We're being judged by the heart. If you have any ounce of hate in you, you will be left behind spiritually. You cannot put forth hate to nobody. But if you do, guess what that shows? You still got to go back to the drawing board. Is there hope for you to change? Yes. But you have to start with forgiveness. Who you have to forgive first? Yourself. Why? Because you're going in this path on your own, even though you got your ancestors with you. But you're going down the path on your own. Nobody can't go down your path. Nobody can go down your path, y'all. Only you can go down your path. Only you. It's great to have somebody to help you along the way because what they say, well, I'm here to help you out on the journey. That don't mean that they're going to be with you the whole journey, though. And you want to know what's going on because you're going through these changes. You're going through these spiritual changes. You're going through these physical changes. You're going through stuff that you never thought that you would ever go through at all. And it's sad because when you come to that, you realize who's really there for you, who's not. All your so-called friends that you thought that were your ace boon coons or whatever you want to call them, they not there. They're not there. And it's sad that we're facing that in reality now. It's sad that we're facing that in reality now. And I'm talking to those that are divine beings. They know exactly what I'm talking about whenever they watch this. And whoever see it, they're going to say like, damn, I do go through that. I thought I had so-called friends turn around. They not my friends when I got to go down my own spiritual path. Many of you were Christians, Muslims, and all of that at one point in time. Or called yourself that, and then you realize, hey, I got to step away from this because I'm starting to see some stuff that don't look right. And then you start going through these changes and realize that, hey, these religions were man-made. And they pretty much was there to stop me from growing spiritually, to find out who I am and find out I am one with the source. I am a part of the source, which means the source, a part of the source is within me. And I'm a part of that spark of the source, living a human experience every day. Just so the source can know how it is to be human. You can be negative or positive because the source or the divine need that experience, both positive and negatives. That's duality. All you people saying, "Oh, I'm with the light. I'm with the light. I'm with the light." All y'all saying that y'all with the light. Can I tell you a little secret? A lot of you not with the light. You've been blinded by the light because you don't know what you're doing and what you're seeing in front of you. How are you going to be a part of the light when you got to go through the darkness first? You can't just come out and say, oh, I'm a part of the light. In order to get to the light, you got to go through the darkness. What is the darkness? You ever heard of the dark night of the soul? You got to go through that. You got to go through shadow work. The shadow work of facing yourself that you don't want to see. That you don't want to face. And guess what? That's what's going on in this country. That's what's going on across the planet. Humans are starting to see the shadow work that they have to do. All these illusions, the Diddy trials, the stuff going on with Trump, the Iran thing, all of this stuff is all part of the illusion of seclusion to bring forth confusion. And then you got all the fearmongers coming out. Oh, it's World War III. It's Armageddon. Meanwhile, nobody's not talking about how all the governments are over there in Antarctica near that protecting that wall. Protecting that wall. What wall? The wall in Antarctica that they don't want you to know what's going on over there. Oh, how about they have those underground cities that they're still looking through that's been talked about? How about that there's still reptoids or reptilians walking around, walking amongst us? How about that? How about how they have the Lugaroo or the Rougarou or the werewolf still walking amongst us? Check out Louisiana, but they have sightings all over. Let's talk about how the mermaids really do exist. Let's talk about how the elites eat the mermaids, y'all. Did y'all know that? There's been wars going on top of wars all this time, and guess what? The masses, y'all didn't know that. Why? Because you're so caught up with Cardi B and the football player. You're caught up with what's going on with Jay-Z and Rock Nation and and him going back into the studio because he need the money. You getting caught up with Puffy or Diddy or Sean Combs, and then you start saying that the guy have all these gray hairs now, and he don't and that was probably dye. If not, that was adrenochrome. Think about that, y'all. Meanwhile, there's stuff going on in the spirit realm that they don't want to talk about. How there's been wars going back and forth, or the galactic wars that they're not talking about. Don't you know? Okay, a lot of these storms are not just from Gaia. They're not just from what you call HARP. These are intergalactic wars that's going on because this planet is under is like a dome in the planet right now. This planet been in quarantine for who knows how long. Many people don't even know that Earth used to be a battleground for extraterrestrial beings, and also for the exchange for human souls. Did y'all know that? That a lot of these brothers and sisters that were actually, who you try to call witches and warlocks, that were actually priestesses and priests, they were actually trying to help protect the planet. There's an old cartoon called The Defenders of Earth. Old cartoon back in the day that had the Phantom and all these other superheroes. And they were called the Defenders of Earth. These people that you call witches and warlocks, you ignorant people that say that call yourself chosen, excuse me, were actually handpicked by the spirit that you call the creator amongst the priestesses and priesthood. They were not witches and warlocks, they were priests and priestesses that were selected. They heard the call and they stepped up to the plate. Here we are. This day and age is still going on, but yet they're being called witches and warlocks. They've been calling all these different names, but these are the same people that many of you low-key go see, the Babalaos, the priestesses of voodoo, and also the daggone priestesses and priests of hoodoo. Y'all secretly do that behind the scenes, but then you come on YouTube and say, oh, that's witchcraft, that's evil, but y'all go back and talk to them low-key. They're your healers, your herbalists, and so on. Don't you know? You try to say, "Oh, well, he's a herbalist or she's a herbalist." Don't you know that's a form of what you call magic? It's called herbal magic. Witch doctors. But here we are. You want to know what's really going on? I'm telling you, sheer ignorance of people that say that they're chosen. Do your homework. Go back to the lab and do more studying. Because this that I'm saying to you is true. The real 144,000, you really want to know who they are? They are your priestesses and priests of the Voodoo, Santeria, Ifa, Hoodoo, Palomiombe. They're coming from out of that. They are the protectors of Earth. They are the ones that's talking and hearing the beings from multi dimensions and also the extraterrestrial ones communicate with them because they know that they exist. Meanwhile, the masses is like, man, that ain't real. That's demonic. That's evil. That, I don't trust that stuff. I go back to Jesus. I go here to Allah. Okay. But guess what? All that originated from out those particular teachings. And they created what you call the schools of thought from Judaism, Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism. The list goes on. All that originated from the Asiatic so-called black man, black woman that always had a high level of communication with the divine, the ones that heard the call, that been chosen for that path. Does that make any sense? I'm hoping, Mother Shelley, I hope that this actually people actually start listening to what I be saying. Because if they listen, they'll see that I'm not making this stuff up. And stop trying to belittle a brother when he's trying to tell you what's really going on. The earth has been calling her children to wake up because Gaia is speaking highly. Gaia, Tiamat, Kai, whatever you want to call this planet, she is speaking highly to her children. Who is her children? The ones that heard the call, the healers, the divine beings that are the healers, that the chosen one should be protecting. Not walking around and saying it on YouTube, saying that they're chosen and they're not doing their job as the chosen. Because the ones that are the healers, which are none other than the divine beings, they are the ones that are the generals. They are the generals. Y'all are the foot soldiers. Y'all supposed to be protecting them. They are your leaders. They are your so-called light workers. I say so-called light workers. But yet here we go. We're caught up in the matrix again. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you like this. If you ever saw Transformers, the movie with Shia LaBeouf, I ain't talking about with Mark Wahlberg. The three with Shia, I think it was 3 or 4 with Shia LaBeouf. I think it was 3. Y'all ever noticed that the whole time they were talking about the cube? What is the cube? Listen, I'm going to give you a little secret. Megatron was actually Metatron. Now, Megatron was actually Metatron or Metatron. Who is Metatron? Who is Metatron? Meta. Who? Metatron. Who was Metatron in your Bible? That was Enoch. He was the only human in your Bible, in your scripture, that went from being human to archangel. Who was taught by the angels, astrology and all the above, and he became an archangel. Don't believe me, look it up. Metatron, Megatron. You hear that? Meta, mega. And in the first movie, they were going after the cube. Metatron's cube. Then if you want to get technical, look at the Kabbalah. The Kabbalah was the cube. The Kabbalah go back to ancient Egypt, but it goes further than that. It goes back to ancient Lemuria, which you call Atlantis today. And yet, you know who study this stuff? The Masons, the Moors, and also the priestesses and priests of voodoo, and all the above. They know. Chosen ones that you keep on saying that y'all chosen, they know. Y'all are left in the dark while they went through the dark to the light. Why you can't get there? Because you have blocked yourself, you blocked your sight to see right in front of you. Why would you block yourself? Because of sheer ignorance and not doing the research and doing the cross-referencing to see what's going on. There's so many things that I want to touch bases on, but it's like nobody don't seem to get it nowadays. That's why I have to watch what I say on YouTube. Do y'all even know that Leviathan is real and Leviathan is actually under the waters right now and is huge as hell? There's a brother that came on, I keep saying there was a brother that came on TikTok, and he was also on Instagram to talk about Leviathan, and his whole channel got gone. Some people think that Leviathan is the crack. Is what they call it, the Kraken. Some people do think Leviathan is the Kraken. My daughter just said, "Yeah, I'm right." My daughter's 11 years old and gave me the thumbs up. Yeah, she agrees. She think that she's telling me I was right about the word Kraken. She's telling me she's only 11. Give me the thumbs up. But here we are, we talking about, oh, what's going on with Trump? Let me tell you something. No politician is going to save you. Y'all put Mr. Trump on a pedestal like he's there to save you, like he's your savior. He got to do his job, which is dismantling the old ways of making money and to bringing forth the new wave of making money and finances. Getting rid of the old way and bringing forth the ancient way. That old way is modern day. The ancient way, because we dealt with technology back then, ancient extraterrestrial technology back then, they're bringing it back. There's nothing new under the sun. Let me tell you, everybody keep on saying this is a new world. No, it's not a new world. Never was a new world. It's the original world. It's the ancient world that we're going back to. Many of you will not be ready for that. Why? Because your heart chakra is not on point. Your heart chakra is not on point. Once again, your heart chakra is not on point. You're being judged right now. All the Bible thumpers, I need you to understand, 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 and understand. You're being judged by the heart. All the brothers and sisters in Islam, you're being judged by the heart. The heart is being judged. This is a part of your revelations. If your heart is not at the purest state of loving and caring and being who you are divinely, that the Creator have made you to be, you can forget about going back into the old world. You're going to be, the so-called ancient world, you're going to be stuck in the new world that they're talking about that's actually the old. It's actually not even the old, it's actually the new. Because the ancient world is the real world that we're going into because of the technology. We've been had this technology. They kept it from the masses. Because the technology came from Lemuria and also ancient civilizations. Did y'all know that they actually had jets back then? My godfather told me that. That's a Bible lie. He said, yo, did you know they had jets back then? They had vehicles back then to travel. It wasn't no daggone how the way they put it in the movies all the way like they think. But I will tell you, the tank that they use in the military, they mimic the tank after the elephant, though. They mimic the tank after the elephant. And I'll land that right there. Because we were always strategic when we went to war. And when we went to war, we didn't always speak with the mouth, we spoke with the mind. But see, this is what people don't know, that we used telepathy a lot back then in ancient times. We never used our mouths to speak. If you ever seen there's certain tribes that are melanated that speak with their tongue, they talk like this. They talk like that. And it sounds crazy, but a lot of them still talk like that because that's dealing with tone, vibration. So you want to know what's going on. It's going back to the ancient ways. Everybody keep on saying, oh, it's a new wave, it's a new day, or new. No, we're going back to the ancient. There was already AI back then. That is nothing new. They put it in movies. They put it in your sci-fi movies. Like a brother Jolly Bay said, when does science ever become fiction? I think it's something. When are we going to realize that we've been lied to? But neither here or there. All I got to say, stay away from the distractions. Stay away from people that keep on saying that they're chosen when they're not taking and protecting the divine beings that the divine mother and father sent down here. Because what they're doing is making money off you by saying that you're chosen. And they can't tell you what you're chosen for. Think about that. Because they're taking scripts from the King James. Y'all know one of the oldest Bibles is over there in Ethiopia, right? If not the oldest. Your so-called Ark of the Covenant, they said it's over there in Ethiopia being protected. No more than that. They say that you can't even go nowhere near the Ark of the Covenant. That's why they got people guarding it. That's how powerful it is. That's what they say. We're watching the fall, the rise and fall of the Khazarians. We're watching the rise. We watched the rise and the fall of the Khazars. And I was on Dr. Kia Pruitt's video when she was talking about Donald Trump, and I mentioned the Khazarians along with this other gentleman, and I was like, and I mentioned Khazaria. You know what they say Khazaria is? What's the name of that place that Russia's going up against? Worship and bombing. What's the name of that place? Ukraine. They said that's where Khazaria really is located, is the Ukraine. Isn't that something? They said that the Ukraine is Khazaria. Hmm. But yet, we're watching the slow fall, if not the rapid fall, of the Khazars. And if you don't know who the Khazars is, I recommend you get the book, The 13th Tribe. Because in that book, they converted into what you call Judaism, and then what made them convert into it, because during that time, Genghis Khan and Muhammad was trying to kill them. So they had to flee and convert into something to protect themselves. So, beloveds, all I gotta say, do your work, do your homework. There's so many things going on that I didn't even really touch bases on like I really wanted to, because many people will not be ready, and YouTube is not ready for me to start saying what I really want to say. So I have to speak in codes. I have to speak in codes. You might think I'm speaking in circles, but I'm not. You might be thinking I'm not saying anything, but I actually really am. My thing is, y'all need to get tapped into nature, because from what I was told several years ago by a gentleman that really said he was a werewolf, and he was a melanated man at that, whom, by the way, when the last time I saw him, I went to the restroom and I saw this shadow figure trying to walk up on me with these type of claw-like fingers, and I turned around, it went away, and next thing you know, I saw the werewolf guy. And when I called his name, he hurried up and ran out. That was him. Y'all don't even know the powers that they have, y'all. I'm telling you some stuff here. It's things going on in the paranormal, in the spirit realm. There's things going on in the physical realm that they don't want to talk about, because they're going to think that you're crazy, and then they're going to try to refer you to go to a therapist or a psychiatrist. When in actuality, there's documentaries that's showing that the werewolves are real. There's documentaries talking about how vampires are real. There's different kinds of vampires. Energy vampires are the ones that drink blood. Listen, let me tell you something. Many of you that are divine beings, and I'm also going to speak to the so-called chosen ones that keep on saying they're the chosen ones. Many of you do have divine gifts. Your divine gifts could be telepathy, psychometry, clairvoyancy, intuition. Let's even turn it up a notch. Okay, we're going to turn it up a notch. Okay, telekinesis, hydrokinesis, even down to the wind bending or air bending. Some of you can bring forth storms at will with your mind. Some of you can bend metal. Some of you can also manipulate fire. Some of you can manipulate the winds. Some of you can also manipulate vegetation. I'm just saying. It's not all of you chosen, but I can tell you the divine beings do that. Can a chosen one be a divine being and not know it? Heck yeah, of course. Of course. Well, what makes them different? Easy. The divine being is a healer and can also be a warrior, the spiritual warrior, but also a protector, a guide, a healer that only answers to the divine. Keep that in mind. They are the ones that lead the chosen ones. They are the ones that's going to lead the army of the chosen ones. They are the ones. They're the generals, the 5-star generals, the royal ones, the ones of royalty, the ones that represent the color of the rainbow, not who you think it is, because the rainbow warriors is talked about in the Hopi prophecy. They are the warriors of the rainbow. They are the ones that the divine sent to wake y'all up. They are the ones that are actually here to lead and help the crystal children out, and all the other beings or all the other star seed children that came here, along with the elementals, because a lot of you chosen foot soldiers are elementals and don't even know it. Y'all are soldiers of the elementals. Many of you are. You ask yourself, what is an elemental? They're beings made out of elements. What are the elements? How many elements are there? You want me to go ahead and name some of them? Earth, wind or air, fire, water. The fifth element is spirit. My question is, how many of you knew that? Not all of you knew that. But I can tell you, in your natal chart, I guarantee you'll be able to see it, because some of you, a lot of the divine beings have all 5 elements in their being. I'm just going to put that out there. I just want to put that out there. So when you start hearing people saying chosen ones, we have to do this, please keep in mind, one of the main jobs of you is to master yourself and find out who you really are. Because some of you that's saying that you're chosen ones and y'all foot soldiers are actually divine beings and don't even realize it. And you've been lying to yourself, and you have to go do self-discovery, which means you gotta do the shadow work. You gotta dig within yourself, the darker side of you, to bring forth the light side of you, to bring forth the yin and yang, which is supreme balance. Why do you think when I ended, I say peace, love, and light, and I say darkness to bring supreme balance? So above, so below. That's why I say it, to bring forth balance. Some of you are not balanced because you're only stuck on, you're only dealing with the elements. It could be fire, it could be water. Heck, it might even be three, but it's not all five. All I gotta say, please do your research, beloveds. Please do your research. And don't get caught up with the chaos, confusion that's going to bring forth what you're going through now, which is keeping you stuck in the matrix. I don't have nothing else to say right now. Don't get caught up what's going on with Donald Trump. Don't get caught up what's going on with what's the guy name? The South African dude that owned X. Don't get caught up with them. Don't get caught up in this whole thing dealing with the 3D and dealing with saying that you're FBA and all of that. Don't get caught up in that stuff. They are all about draining your energy. It's all about draining your energy. Many of you came back melanated because you went back to the original. A lot of you were in other lifetimes as different nationalities and races, but y'all were actually there in the beginning, which was the Asiatic. Then y'all went into different transformations and different nationalities. Look at your DNA, your bloodline. You'll see, because one day the science are going to say, "Hey, this is true that whatever you have in your bloodline, or as nationality, that's what you were in your past life." I'm telling you, that's coming. That's coming real soon. I'm telling you, that's coming real soon. But keep your eyes on the weather patterns, like I've been telling y'all. Watch how these earthquakes gonna hit. Watch how the sea level is across the planet. Watch a lot of stuff that's going to go on with politics or politics. Watch the illusions and stuff. Watch how there's going to be a lot of self-discoveries along with different entities, different beings, different creatures, different extraterrestrials. All of that is going to start coming out in the forefront soon. The UFO sightings are going to increase. On that note, beloveds, love, peace, light, darkness, supreme balance. May the divine heal you and protect you and yours. I love you. Thank you for watching.